This is another episode of Galneryus One for All for One, and today we're gonna listen to a song which is honestly kind of a guilty pleasure track for me. Like, I don't know how its general reception looks like, but in my humble opinion, this is kind of a stroke of genius from Galneryus because it manages to oscillate between the most stupendously simple yet catchy dark neoclassical sound and very atmospheric, grandiose elements on the other hand, especially in later albums. Sometimes there is just this one song which serves the simple function of being straightforward headbanger material, and this for sure is that song in this album. And also then we have The Sun Goes Down, which is another pretty cool instrumental track from them. This is an episode I'm really excited for. I mean, just the speed of this going in, how it switches between this epic symphonic sound and just these bluesy metal riffs. It's just incorporated so nicely. It sounds just very good. It's totally catchy. What we had in the very beginning represents this very well. So we're ending off without the violence and just this little blues lick in the end. Very metal here, and we also have this filter over Yamabe's voice, so it has this very distinct style. I think maybe it was kind of trending at that time in Japan. Like, it's something I hear sometimes in this rock metal genre when listening to Japanese music. It also is kind of a little callback we had to an earlier song that was called Don't Touch, which I mentioned kind of sounded like a Metallica song, so rather untypical for Galneryus. And I think the narrative element behind that was that it was some kind of pretentious persona which was played by the protagonist in the lyrics. And here we also have this element, but it's tied in a very more nuanced and, in my opinion, good sounding way. And it also tends to switch over to the normal Galneryus style on many occasions, especially then when it hits the pre-chorus, for example. With the organ also, again. Those fast switches are pretty cool. This sounds so evil, man. Straight into the solo. Dude, those riffs are just hitting very hard. Oh, those violins also are very moody in this case. There's some creaking in the background, like some could be vocal fry. some horror movie stuff. That seems to be the keyboard, right? That's wild, dude. Whoa. Sorry about that. I think actually, like, when it comes to melodic solos, that's probably one of my favorite. It's at least top 10 or maybe even top 5 of my favorites from Galneryus. Just like in terms of expressiveness, and it has a very nice melody as well. And I think in contrast to what came earlier, this really stretched section where we just had this very chaotic shredding and this dark sound in the background. It's just, again, this contrast that works extremely well in this case, and we're definitely gonna listen to that solo again. But it doesn't lose any speed at the same time. Also with the choirs in the background. Yo, definitely one of my favorite moments in the album. I think I said that before, but also melody-wise, the verse is very catchy, which I think wasn't the case in Don't Touch. We have this very playful and melodic element here as well. I love the organ here, it's so cool. There's also so much going on here. Pretty funny how the guitar doesn't do anything in the beginning. It just keeps on hitting the same note. And then there's a bit movement in the second part. But like mostly it's just this very, very dull, dark neoclassical melody, which I call it dull, but it's so catchy in my opinion. It's like, I mean this in a very positive way. It like really hits the sweet spot for me in that regard. And then also we have the choirs a bit in the back. It makes this pretty spacious, which is also something which happened in the solo, especially in the end, which adds this grandiose element to it. On one hand in the light and then in the darkness here in the chorus. It sounds so evil. It's like, I really like it. The melody descends, but in the end, it goes a bit up again. And this relativizes this dark evil element a bit, which they had established. It almost has a kind of subversive character, so it doesn't really settle on one of those energies, but it balances them out pretty well. And he's also crying here, you know, we had also Shu scream in the background. The instruments hit as well. There's a lot of emphasis on this cry out, which makes it pop a lot. I also think this time, this is actually one of the songs they had this audience participation aspect where they stretched the song and like made the audience do something with cry out or whatever. I think that was one of the songs. Cry out! Cry out the dark! And I also love this with the violence and all. That's such a smart riff or whatever that is. And it ends up with a little bluesy outro. So again, that relativizes that grandiose sound. That's definitely a concept here. And I would assume it's just like the speculation, but it's a topic I think that was tackled within this album. It was they want the dark back, they had fought before, because without it there's something missing. Okay, I didn't know how I didn't realize this, but most of it was in Japanese. Maybe because, well, the chorus starts off with an English line and also in the end has an English line. And this is usually what you tend to sing along for some reason. So I didn't even realize that this was Japanese. Of course, I'm not gonna read this Romanized stuff. The only option I see here is to put this into a translation software. I can't stop through the dark night, he's stirring in secret. I don't know through the dark night, he's taking my consciousness away. So we have a he here. I don't know how that behaves with the translation or whatever, but maybe that's accurate. We also have this repeating structure with call and answer here. It's also with the through the dark night. So this sets the scene, and I think we heard this very clearly in the music as well with this dark evil sound. This consciousness that is so far away from me. Where is my functional self? I lose sight of this future. I just forget it all. This should be the first pre-chorus. I can't stop through the dark night. I'm not myself. I'm stirring in the dark night. I can't go back to the world of midday. He's taken my consciousness and I'm going away. It even rhymes, lol. Here we have this shifted in order, interestingly. Yeah, so we have this like disorientation, this losing oneself theme. I'm not myself. The Dark Knight also symbolizes this. Where's my functional self? The functional self is not there. Lose sight. We had this. I'll just forget it all. So it's like a separation between the true self, maybe. And this he might be that part which seems not available at the moment. Then we have the second pre-chorus, this consciousness that is far away. Where's my functional self? This future that I lose sight of. I should just disappear. Interestingly, so we have also this disappear thing. My consciousness is going away, almost as if something is dying. But I don't think it's about death in this regard. It's really about losing a part of yourself, or that part not being available for some reason. Time to crawl. That's the chorus here. Time to crawl in the pain. Wandering in a nightmare. Time to lose my life again. Inescapable fate. That makes it also a bit interesting because it sounds a bit cartoonish, right? It sounds grand enough that you can take it serious in instances where it's serious, but it's always later then relativized by this bluesy, more catchy sequences. It's still a kind of game they're playing, but whoever this is revolving around, it's actually like bothering them. There's some actual emotional baggage attached to that. Time to crawl in the pain, time to lose my life again. Also this again theme, you know, it has happened before, which might be what I was referring to. This journey that is behind us in the preceding albums. Cry for the like usually you have this theme that you're in the darkness and the chaos and you cry out for help or something or to get out. But in this case, it's crying for the dark itself. It's like in the night and whatever, but I'm crying for the dark. Which again would explain a bit why the song is constructed in the way it is, which makes the dark sound almost fun in some way. Here we have the verse again. I can't resist the lure of the dark night. I wriggle in search of pleasure. I can't reach my fleeting wish. He takes my consciousness away. This consciousness that is far away. So they're picking this up here again in the first line. This consciousness that is far away. Where's my functional self? I lose sight of this future. I hope it disappears. I hope it disappears. Again, if that is accurate in any sense, we have a progression here. It's not, I don't fear that I lose sight of the future. I hope it disappears. There's a certain craving or longing for that. Also, I wriggle in search of pleasure. That's also hinting into that. This is again like a rather conflicting thing. We have this thing you actually usually want to get out, but you actually want to go into that. So this makes the song kind of interesting, I would assume. Just check in here if there's something different in the second chorus, but I doubt it. Wandering in a nightmare, inescapable fate. Yes. Yes, yes. We can also look, I guess. I actually wanted to look who wrote this, because I wouldn't be surprised if it was just Shu and Yamabi again. But we can't look this up here. So if you know anything about that, that would be interesting to know. Yeah, and as mentioned in the beginning, for everyone who's still watching, we of course have an outro song as well. So we're gonna listen to that now. Glasses off, music on, I would say. I almost didn't dare to stop this because it was just such a nice flow. You have this really nice sunset oceanic feeling. Like, I think they captured this really well here. And then just when the guitar starts, it's like chef's kiss with the guitar tone and all of that. I also like how Yuki plays here in the background with those little accents and all. That's just a very chill track. And a bit dreamy. Oh, I also like the drums. And she's just totally escalating here. Glitter and all. I also liked how that faded out. That was pretty sweet, man. It's a very cool way to end this album. Also on a very interesting note, almost like a cliffhanger, I would say, with Cry for the Dark. Interestingly, you get a sense of closure through this song, but the preceding song was really, I think, supposed to spark excitement for what's to come. I also used to really like to listen to this track for chilling. It's a bit short, but still. In my regard, as I think we have established in the last album, would like to just take a look again at the whole of this album. So we're here in Spotify and we're just gonna look a bit what especially stood out to me in all of this. There are some obviously great tracks I obviously like quite a lot. Just to get this out of the way, when it comes to the intro and the outro tracks, I think Red Horizon is an absolute banger for an intro track. So this is definitely like a special song in that regard. And also The Sun Goes Down is a really nice and pleasant outro track. And then when it comes to general songs, we just had so many great things. Like New Legend started off so strong already. Awesome music video as well. I think we had two really nice music videos in this. It's like, it starts off with almost something ripping apart. We have this very thick soundscape, which is drenched in atmosphere. I just love this about the album in general. Very nice mood shifts, very catchy chorus, all of that. That's just like... I have to take those glasses off, man. Cannot headbang with glasses on, dude. And again, Everlasting also just shreds stuff into pieces in the very beginning. So this being more on the moody side a bit. Like, it's not going that heavy as New Legend, but I think this is where its quality lies also. It's very deep and atmospheric. The guitar lead melody is so strong in this song. And of course the chorus, I mean... Okay, honestly, now listening to this again, this is probably my favorite song from the whole album, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, with Chasing the Wind, the atmosphere they create here, from the mere instrumental, like the little piano things, the flanger, and then those switches. Like, come on. In almost every song we had a very strong melodic solo. We just listened to Cry for the Dark, but they also had some really interesting moments. Aim at the Top also worked with this contrast of like darkness and euphoria. Like here it is very... And then it's like opening up. Seems like very like gladiator theme to me with the... I think they also sang something about the arena or whatever. Not sure about that though. And of course we had some Yuki songs. I don't even remember if the Nightcraver was also by Yuki, but Sign of Revolution, very atmospheric song. I really like that as well. I mean, come on, what is that even like? Awesome song. Nightcraver as well. Like, we have this, you know, they have like a talent to incorporate all of those aesthetics like night and like sunset and sunrise into musical language. This sounds like night, but also in a very exaggerated, over the top way, filled with aesthetics, with this sparkling and all of that. Like, it also tells a story, you know. It's like, it's not just night, period. We have so much intrigue in all of this, and I don't know, I really like that. Also again, very catchy chorus. I love this album. Yeah, and I think with this, we're kind of through. Those were my particular highlights, and feel free to share yours, like your top 3 or top 5. Again, as always, I would be very interested. And then I really think we are through now. This was the album. I hope you enjoyed the journey just as much as I did. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Next week, we're gonna listen to a much requested piece of Galneryus' discography, which I don't even know how it's called, but like it features those songs like Alsatia and how were the other ones called? I don't even remember. We have to listen to that stuff. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited and see you around.